Sometimes the stars watch us from above, quietly testing our hearts. In a small town where streetlights flicker like fading memories, two sisters were born under the same sky. Yet the world treated them like they came from different universes. One sister, Amina, with warm brown skin like the evening earth, soft, gentle, patient. She carried love like light, even when no one noticed. The other, Lily, pale as winter moonlight, beautiful, admired, adored, but her heart closed, sharp, hungry for attention. Every night, Amina would look at the stars, believing they listened. Lily? She looked only at mirrors. But one night, the sky broke open. A shooting star streaked across the heavens, bright enough to turn darkness into gold. And the star whispered, one wish for each heart, but only the wish born from love will be real. What happens when one sister wishes to heal the world and the other wishes to own it? This is where their destiny divides. The town of Maplebrook was the kind of place where life felt small, but feelings felt big. Every street was familiar, every face was known, and every whisper traveled farther than footsteps. Inside a little house painted white with aging wood and wind chimes that rang when no one touched them, lived two sisters born only minutes apart, yet separated by something much deeper than time. Amina, the black-skinned sister, carried a tenderness that felt sacred. Her eyes weren't just eyes, they were soft places to rest. She didn't speak loud, she didn't demand, she didn't chase. She simply was love, gentle, steady, unshakable. Lily, pale-skinned and sharp-featured, carried beauty like a sword. Her presence commanded, her words cut, her footsteps sounded like expectation, as if the world owed her attention simply because she breathed. People didn't mean to choose between them, but the world always chooses what shines, before it ever sees what warms. Their mother dressed Lily in bright ribbons, perfumed soft dresses, and sparkling shoes that caught sunlight like mirrors. And Amina? She wore simple things, soft sweaters, old denim, clothes passed down again and again. But Amina never complained. There was a quiet acceptance in her, as if she believed love did not need to be seen to be real. Though the truth was simpler and more painful, she had learned how to live without needing to be chosen. Lily never learned that. At school, Lily walked ahead, leaving Amina behind without looking. At home, she spoke like every sentence was a spotlight. At birthdays, she received attention so loudly that Amina's presence dissolved into background air. Yet Amina did not envy her. She only observed her, because some souls don't want the world. They want to understand it. And Amina saw Lily clearly, not as the world praised her, but as a child hungry to be adored, even if it cost love. One autumn evening, as orange leaves fell like slow confessions from the trees, Amina sat alone on the porch, listening to wind, to memory, to the quiet ache that lived under her ribs. She watched the lights inside flicker where Lily laughed loudly, surrounded by attention, like always. It didn't hurt, because Amina wanted that. It hurt, because Lily didn't see she already had it. Amina loved her sister, quietly, unconditionally, without needing credit. But love without acknowledgement is love that aches gently, constantly, like breathing cold air into warm lungs. Amina looked up at the sky. The stars spread wide like a page full of secrets, and she whispered, not a wish, not a plea, just a truth. I hope she finds enough love to not need to take mine. She didn't know the sky was listening. Later that same night, the world felt unusually quiet, as if the sky itself held its breath. The sisters climbed to the rooftop, though for different reasons. Lily climbed to escape the silence of being alone once the attention faded. Amina climbed to find something bigger than loneliness. They didn't speak. The distance between them felt heavy, not from anger, but from being unseen. Then the sky tore open. A shooting star ripped across the darkness, bright enough to turn night into gold. A streak of fire, hope, and something ancient. Both girls lifted their faces toward it. For the first time in years, looking in the same direction. No voice was heard. No sound broke the moment. Yet both of them felt it. A quiet message pressed into the deepest part of their hearts. One wish for each of you." Lily's breath shook, not from wonder, but from want. Her heart whispered, "Make them see me. Make them want me. Make me unforgettable." Amina closed her eyes, not to escape the world, but to embrace it. Her heart whispered, "Let me become someone who heals others, even if I am never seen." One wish was hunger. The other was love. One wish came from ego. The other came from soul. The star did not fade. It absorbed their wishes, like a secret now written in the dark. And the universe gave its answer, not in words, but in destiny. Amina did not glow. She did not transform. No miracle was visible. Her change was in the heart. And the heart changes the world quietly. Lily's wish began to bloom too, but like a flame, not a flower. Admiration comes fast, but it burns. Amina's love grew slow, but it healed. The night closed. The star was gone. But two futures had already begun. One built on giving, one built on wanting, and only one would survive the weight of its own wish. The morning after the shooting star felt different, though nothing in the world looked changed. The kitchen still smelled like toasted bread and honey tea. The wooden floor still creaked where it always creaked. The old refrigerator still hummed like a tired storyteller. But Amina moved through the morning like she had been touched by something holy. Her steps were soft, her breathing calm. Her presence felt like sunlight warming a cold room. She was still the same girl, yet something about her felt deeper, clearer, more awake. She didn't speak more. She didn't act grand. But now, when she moved, it was like her heart was leading her with quiet purpose. She made breakfast for everyone without being asked, not out of duty, but out of love. She poured her mother's tea exactly the way she liked it. She buttered her father's toast just the right amount, and she placed Lily's plate near her with gentle care. Even though Lily barely looked up, Lily sat scrolling through her phone, checking likes, messages, compliments, comments, little digital sparks to keep the fire of her ego burning. She had wished to be admired, and oh, the world had begun answering. Her social media had gained new followers overnight, strangers calling her beautiful, perfect, shining. But admiration is a dangerous meal. You eat and eat, but never feel full. Amina placed a plate quietly in front of her sister. Lily didn't say thank you, but Amina smiled anyway, because kindness was not a transaction. It was her truth. Time passed, days melting softly into one another. In school, something unexpected began to happen. One morning, a girl named Sophie cried quietly in the hallway. Her parents were divorcing. People passed her like she was invisible grief. But Amina sat beside her, no words, just presence, and Sophie leaned into her like a drowning soul finding shore. Another day, a quiet boy named Evan dropped his books, and the laughter around him broke something inside him. Amina knelt, helped him gather each book gently, and Evan's shaking hand stilled. A lonely teacher stayed late each afternoon, fighting tears behind her glasses. Amina began leaving small notes on her desk with simple messages. "You're doing better than you think." And the teacher would exhale, shoulders lowering, heart softening. No one saw Amina do these things. No cameras, no applause, no spotlight. But love does not need to be seen to change the world. Meanwhile, Lily walked through school like a flame burning too fast. People admired her. They complimented her beauty. They laughed when she laughed. But admiration is not love. Attention is not affection. Presence is not connection. The more people looked at Lily, the emptier she felt inside. Her wish was coming true. And yet, she had never felt more alone. Lily had always believed that if enough people wanted her, she would finally feel satisfied. But glory fades fast. One afternoon, in the hallway buzzing with chatter, Lily was surrounded by girls who praised her hair, her clothes, her confidence. They said things like, "You're gorgeous. You're like someone from a movie. I wish I were you." Lily smiled, but the smile didn't touch her eyes, because none of them knew her. They loved the image, not the soul. And what good is being worshipped if you are still lonely inside? Just a few steps away, Amina stood speaking quietly to someone crying. offering comfort without expecting anything in return. Lily stared. She didn't understand how someone who received so little of the world's attention could give so much of her heart. It bothered her, confused her, hurt something deep inside her, because Lily had everything that should have made her happy. But Amina was the one who glowed from within. Lily looked around. She was surrounded, yet she had never felt more unseen. Amina looked up, and her eyes met Lily's, soft, warm, full of something Lily didn't recognize. Not pity, not superiority, just love. Real love, unconditional, steady, unbreakable. The kind of love that does not need to be earned, only received. But Lily looked away, because to accept love like that, you must first believe you're worthy of it. And Lily did not. Not yet. Chapter 2, Yendi. The wish begins to reveal its price. Amina's wish was becoming light. Lily's wish was becoming shadow. And the world was changing. Quietly, beautifully, painfully. Not all miracles look like magic. Some look like hearts learning who they really are. Rain came softly at first, a gentle tapping like fingertips on window glass, but soon it was falling in silver curtains across Maplebrook. The world outside looked blurred, softened, like it was remembering something. Amina walked home slowly, her sweater damp at the shoulders, her hair clinging softly to her face, her steps quiet as the rain. In her hands was an umbrella, not for herself, but for the girl beside her, a classmate named Hannah, who cried the entire walk home because her father had left that morning and the world felt too heavy to stand inside of. Amina didn't say it will be okay. She didn't lie. She didn't try to fix what could not be fixed in words. She simply walked, shielding someone else from the storm, because love is not what you say. Love is what you give away when no one is watching. But someone was watching. From the steps of a small cafe across the street, under a dry awning, Lily stood, untouched by rain, untouched by pain, untouched by effort, and yet she felt drenched in something heavy, something real, something she had spent her whole life avoiding. She watched Amina's hands, her gentle movements, her patience, her quiet strength, and suddenly, for the first time, Lily understood. Attention is loud, love is quiet, but only one of them fills the soul. Lily had always believed she was the strong one, the admired one, the chosen one, but here in the rain, she saw the truth. Amina had something she could not even name, a light that came from within, born from a heart that gave even when it received nothing. And that is a strength no mirror can show, no compliment can give, no spotlight can create. It is the strength of a heart that loves without needing to be loved back. Amina walked inside home later that evening, setting aside her shoes quietly. Her hands were cold, her hair still damp, her steps slow with tiredness, yet her face peaceful. Lily sat at the kitchen table, not speaking. Her phone lay face down, unheard of. Her eyes were soft, unfamiliar. Amina smiled softly at her, the kind of smile that didn't demand anything. And Lily felt something break inside her. Not pain, not sadness. Truth. The truth that she had spent her whole life trying to be seen, while Amina had spent her whole life trying to understand. Which one, she wondered, had actually lived that night, as though the universe had been waiting for this exact moment. The clouds pulled apart like opening curtains. The stars returned in full. And then, the same star, the same golden streak, the same whisper. The rooftop felt different this time. The world below was asleep. The night was full. The sisters were no longer children. Amina stood with a gentle stillness, a heart that had learned how to love without question. Lily stood beside her, trembling not in pride, but in realization. The star did not speak aloud, because it did not need to. Wishes don't reveal who we want to become. They reveal who we already are. Amina's wish had grown into life. She had become a healer, a comfort, a quiet miracle in motion. Lily's wish had also come true. She was admired, desired, seen, but admiration had left her hollow. And Lily, for the first time, could not look away from the truth. She had wished to be loved, without knowing how to love. She turned to Amina, voice breaking like something fragile finally allowed to fall apart. I didn't know. Her voice shook. I didn't know what I was asking for. Amina looked at her, not with triumph, not with pity, but with the same love she had always held. You can still choose differently. Lily's tears fell, not dramatic, not loud, just real, the kind that finally washes the soul. She stepped forward, her voice barely a breath. I don't want to be admired anymore. I want to be like you. Amina shook her head softly, and her words came like warmth. Don't be like me. Be who you are, but with love. The shooting star glowed brighter, as if acknowledging the moment, because the universe does not punish selfish hearts. It waits for them to soften. The world does not reward what is loud. It rewards what is true. Amina's wish came true because it was selfless. Lily's wish came true, but it led her back to herself. And that is the real miracle. Not the star, not the sky, but the moment a heart learns how to love